Hey everybody, how's it going? How's the fragrance life? How's the fragrance world? Y'all know how I do it. Y'all know how I say it. Hope that you're all doing just fantastic. I know it's the weekend. I hope that y'all are enjoying life, doing well out there. Sorry about getting on here a little bit late. I try to get on here about 6 p.m. Central Time each evening, Fridays and Saturdays. This week actually went really fast. Actually snuck up on me. In my free time, I've been staying super busy. I've been trying to get everything done around the house here. Been just working up a storm. I don't know, we'll talk about fragrance here in a second. We'll see if anybody wants to pop in. But I stacked leather handle. I made this. It's not perfect. You can probably see some gaps in it from old leather belts the weird lines in it. It's not even completely all natural leather. And that's one reason there's gaps where it was real leather, like right here. It was really good and really nice. I wish I had more of that real leather. I used an old leather belt of mine I'd worn for years, and that turned out pretty good. A mix of leathers. So that's an old Estwing hatchet. I've been working on that. Been a lot of work. Hey, Rich Mitch, how you doing? How y'all doing, everybody? I am the fragrance man in the woods, and just joking about some of my daily life. I actually spent a couple hours today trying to uproot a big tree trunk known as fatwood. We'll talk about fragrance here in a second. Hey there, Fahad Ahmed. Happy to see you pop in. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. I've been really tired. I've been being really busy. I hope it looks. I think I lost a little bit of weight. I've just been working hard in the high temperatures and fat wood. Yes, I don't know if y'all seen this stuff. If you have pines and certain types of trees, whenever they die naturally, or if they die from unnatural causes, and you let them sit there before. Rich Mitch, yeah, man, you gotta play hard, right? Anyways, if if you have a pine tree or something outside like that it gets damaged or it just dies naturally, the sap from the tree will actually go to the trunk of the tree over time. And if you find these like little pieces of wood poking out of the ground, if you live where I live in the south, here's a really good piece. Hopefully you can see it. That's all sap resin, and this is back in the day what they would use, I believe, to make turpentine and pine sol, and it's a you can use it as like kind of like a cleaner, and has a very distinct smell, and it actually is a great fire starter. If you're an outdoorsman, if you work outdoors, if you were back in the day looking to start a fire with flint and steel, this is exactly what you want. This is perfect, and it's actually a really hard wood. It's just soaked with sap, and it's very hard, harder than regular wood. So, broke sense in the house. How you doing, my friend? Happy to see you pop in. I think you live in the south as well. Do you know about good old Fatwood? I'm running people off. I'm scaring people off, but I thought I'd show you all a little bit more of my personal life, and I really like the outdoors, and it's something I'm passionate about. Should probably make another channel about it. But, anyways, let's get to fragrance, guys. What fragrances have y'all been buying? I just made another fragrance net haul purchase. That's a beautiful background. I'm glad that you like it. The sun is setting, and it is a beautiful day out here. Very hot and humid, though. And I'm game to talk about some tree. Rich Mitch is all about the wood. Well, if we're talking about trees, I don't know if y'all, maybe I should get them out here, but I bought some knife blanks from Hele. I don't know if y'all know about that brand, but they're Finnish knife makers. And I bought some exotic woods. Some of them are from Africa, brown heartwood. One's called, like, I forget how you're supposed to say it. It's like Moringa, and fascinating, very hard woods. You have lost some weight. I'm happy that you can see that. I've been working really hard and putting on some muscle as well. I definitely like to be fit and strong, but I like to feel like I've accomplished something. When I don't like to just push weights. I don't, just for the heck of it. I want to feel like I'm accomplishing something, and that's one reason I'm a little bit more of a forest man or a mountain man, I guess I suppose, because um, if I was able to chop wood all day, I'd be lean and I would be mean. because I'd rather chop wood than push weights. But I guess I'm funny that way. Weights are cold and dead. I feel that way too. I think that you got to do something with a purpose, and it's one thing to keep your body fit. I guess just the big urban city type of attitude is just not for me. What's your guys' scent of the day? Mine is Lemon Verde from the Aqua Allegoria line from Guerlain. I don't have any Guerlains in my collection. I'm about to change that. That's the first one I have. At least if I remember right, I think that's the first one I'm going to have in my collection. I have that one on the way. It's a very soft, lemon lime kind of fragrance. Very very unisex in my opinion. Even though it's marketed more towards the ladies, I think it's a great fragrance. The Lemon Verde, um, you know, from Guerlain. Be really interested to see what I don't remember if I saw what Eugene thought about the Aqua Allegoria line. I know they're very light. I know that they're kind of simple, but I don't remember seeing his opinions on them. I'd like to see his opinions on the that line. So Richmond says I wore Estee Lauder for men. That's a great one. I don't. I need to explore some more of these fragrances. Is that a vintage? Is that a classic? I don't remember if I've tried that one. Honestly, there's so many good fragrances out there to try. I have my first and only might be my only Aqua de Parma that I personally will own. If I had a lady around, I might have Vico di Amalfi around, but it's unisex, but it's just hard for me to wear. But I have. I don't want to spoil my whole haul video, but I have my first Aqua de Parma coming on the way. Have y'all? I don't know. I feel like with me with summer scents, I've kind of gotten into that weird area where I want like um, ginger and spices for the summer. Do y'all feel that way? There's so many great summer fragrances that are fresh and easygoing, light and blue. But I'm kind of getting in that mood where I want like ginger and spices. I have a hard time with Immortelle, but actually Immortelle can be used beautifully, and Mimosa as well in fragrances for summer fragrances. Solano never duplicate frags in the house. Que pasa? Hey, my friend, how you doing? I would try to speak more Spanish to you, but I don't remember too much from high school. I think I took the 2 years, but I don't remember. I know the basics. I can speak some gringo English and order something at a Tex-Mex restaurant, but I can't really speak it too well. I can ask for water, agua. I can order off a menu. That's mostly it. Uh, cool. I haven't worn anything today, but when I get home, um I will do a fragrance haul for 2020. I'm excited to see your fragrance haul, bro. Is it Broke's Sense? That's how I always want to say it. But yeah, it's a fragrance halls are exciting. It's always exciting to see what new fragrances everybody's getting into, what fragrances everybody's buying. I do worry that with fragrance halls we encourage each other to just buy more and more fragrances. It's probably true. We probably do encourage each other to get into more fragrances, but y'all probably know, just buy responsibly, buy according to your needs, and be careful with those credit cards. DFW says sent to the day DS and Durga Amber Kiso. I don't remember if I've tried Amber Kiso. I have tried Cowboy Grass. I've tried a few fragrances from them, and they're very well composed. The DS and Durga fragrances do get a lot of love in the niche fragrance community. They are interesting and quality and kind of soothing. They if you're really deep into niche, they might not be as interesting enough if the artsy people who like more strange fragrances, but. Adidas and Durga definitely are solid. I think that it's called Bowmakers is their biggest top seller, their most popular fragrance, and I think it sells very very well. Scent of the day is Aqua de Parma's Sandalo. Tell me more about that one. I don't remember seeing many reviews of that one. The Sandalo must be all about the sandalwood, and I was tempted by a couple of the fragrances. Maybe in the future. I'm funny that even though I probably should buy 30 mils, if a 6 ounce bottle is available, and it's a versatile like fragrance where you won't choke people out, and you're not going to feel guilty about wearing 10 sprays. I kind of want those big 6-ounce bottles from Aqua de Parma. I want to set those out. I think they look nice. Let's see here. My bottle is vintage, but the latest formulation is sound. You can get it at discounters, and it's cheap and it's lovely. Well, I'll have to check out the SD Lauder for men. I'll have to see what it's all about. The Rich Mitch Golden Goose, the rubber ducky, gives his stamp of approval. Jay Z sent to the day Victor and Rolf Dirty Trick. I did try that line. I don't know if they've added any to that line. That's the high end niche line from Victor and Rolf. And there was one that was like glass roses. I thought would, or there was one based on like glass or something. I thought was quite interesting. Those fragrances, I thought they were really, really soft and inoffensive. I thought that they were nice, but I don't know. Do they work on you? I should have tested them more. Maybe they do last on the skin for a long time. They just didn't seem to project on me very well. Susie Roman, hey, how you doing? Happy to see you. But if you love it, let me know more about that dirty trick. I probably should revisit those. Angel O says, "Sent to the days Essenza di Zegna." Zegna. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. That one looks pretty good. I need to blind buy and get more into those Zegnas. Those, they have some great Mediterranean summer feeling fragrances. They certainly do fresh Italian feeling fragrances very well. It's Broke Sense. Yes, that's the one. I just don't know how to say it. Is it? It's not Broke Sense. It's not Bro Sense. It's Broke Sense. I'm not sure. Scent of the Day is Timbuktu by Les Artisans Parfumeurs. Great fragrance. Amazing. Green mango, beautiful sweet resins, and a beautiful, gorgeous vetiver. If you love vetiver, you definitely have to check it out. I think Timbuktu is a masterpiece and highly recommended. I hope that I got the word out. There was a while that I really, really kept speaking highly of that fragrance. I really hope that I got the word out because that fragrance deserves attention. If you're a vetiver lover and you really like interesting, spicy fragrances and exotic, incensey feeling fragrances. It's so well done, but yet it has a mass appealing, wearable quality about it, in my opinion. If you're really sensitive to spices, it might not be for you, but it's just one of the best vetivers. It's one of the best soft spices, one of the best incense kind of fragrances out there. Really, really good stuff, Timbuktu. And I love the story behind it. It's supposed to capture, it's the how people in Africa would scent their clothes with resins and incense, and that tradition of scenting clothes, and that's how they would wear perfumes, and that's how they would wear fragrances, and probably a lot of people in ancient times. That's how they would do it back in the day. I want bow makers. Yeah, bow makers seems to get a lot of love. It seems to be a really good one. I've heard really good things about it. Abraham Johnson says, "Hey, what's going on, Ben? Happy to see you pop in, Abraham. How's it going for y'all? I'm just sitting out here, and it's actually still pretty darn hot. We're getting days out here in the south where it's 90 plus, very high humidity, and I'm red, I'm tanned, and it's because this is the southern life. One of these days, when maybe my company, whenever I release my company, hopefully maybe I'll be able to move around and I'll figure out if I still want to live in the South like this. I've been tempted by North Florida. We'll have to see what that's like. I certainly do like Tennessee. Tennessee and Kentucky, to me, is definitely got it going on over there. Abraham Johnson says, "Scent of the day is Monsara So Blue." Really, I haven't tried that one, but Mansara's, I mean, if you're scared to dive into niche and you still want things that are wearable, you want lots of performance, you want compliments, a lot of the Mansara fragrances do very, very well. They're very sweet, at least to me for the most part. I don't hear a lot of reviewers talk about Mansara being sweet, but most Mansaras do have a lot of sweetness to them. And a lot of people, modern mass appealing fragrances, that's just works. That's what people seem to like, and I'll have to try that So Blue one of these days. I have the Oud Vanille, and I have the Amber Fever, and I think both of them are great fragrances. Do you own any from that line? Hey Ben, what do you think about zoologist fragrances? Almost missed your comment somehow. Zoologist, I need to explore more of them. I actually have some samples on the way, and I liked camel, and I got T Rex, and those are some of the samples that the few of that I've tried that I really remember. And I thought camel was really interesting. It kind of goes into that Dolce Gabbana the one territory, kind of like a tobacco resinous fragrance, but it has a little bit of animalics to it, but still very wearable. And I think it's fairly unisex. I think it's a great fragrance for ladies if they want to dive into a fragrance that introduces them to a world that's a little bit leathery and a tiny bit animalic, and it's perfectly unisex. If you liked fragrances like Dolce Gabbana the one, then Camel is quite good. I think it's one of the ones that's more mass appealing, but uh, a lot of zoologists do have a lot of character. They're very bold. Some of them are quite animalic, and you have if you're if you that's not what you want. Not everybody likes niche. Not everybody is ready for niche. Everybody is having a is has a different type of fragrance journey. That's what I always like to say. Take things at your own pace. If something's getting really, really hyped, you might want to consider it, but oftentimes I think it's good to take things at your own pace. When I first started, I got into some designer fragrances. Then I got to look and dive into some cheapies and get my nose introduced to all kinds of different notes, all kinds of different fragrances and DNAs. And then I kind of figured out my styles and the perfumers and what I like and what I don't like. And then I bought some more designers, and then I started buying all kinds of samples of niche. And I still don't own a lot of niche. And for the most part, I still wear designer fragrances. For me, that designer fragrances just work most environments and most situations. Designer fragrances are fragrances that other people often like. I do like the artisticness and the special qualities of niche, but to me, I kind of save niche for special occasions. And even though there are very wearable niche fragrances and fragrance niche fragrances that are meant to be worn every day, I just haven't gotten to that point. Not only financially, but kind of my personality. I love the was it Perfumum Roma line, just the look, the style of the bottles, and just the imagery. I connect with that brand. Maybe one of these days I'll have a lot of their fragrances, and I can feel and wear those types of fragrances every day, because I certainly have that kind of image in my head of having a very nice wardrobe and lots of bottles of Perfumum Roma. I don't know why, but it's in my head, and I can't. And it's something I dream about pretty much. But I don't. But back to your question, broke sense. I have not. I don't own any of those bottles myself from Zoologist. Maybe one of these days I'll get. I'll buy one of them. I am really anticipating trying rhino, elephant, panda, and that one that's like Marquet I forget how you're supposed to say it. It's like a little monkey like type of creature. It's like a marcob. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. DFW Shade says was looking for some masks online and stumbled across the rag and bone masks. You were looking for I don't know. Autocorrect must have got you there. So I saw the Frag Factory, so I checked it out. They have a frag called Amber that has some nice reviews. Yes, those fragrances from what I forget. I think I tried one of those in the past. I don't remember which one it was. I think isn't there a leather one as well? Uh, they're kind of simplistic as far as I remember. From what hearing and what I remember smelling, fairly simplistic but pretty high quality. What's that line? There's another fragrance line that's I think Maison Margiela, the perfumer, stepped out and worked with another company. Hopefully that comes to mind every time. Every time I try to remember something. Uh, but Etherealist owns a few of them. If he's here, he'll be able to help. There's a sandalwood one. There's an amber one. And if you're looking for single note fragrances, for some reason it's not coming to mind right now. Have you heard anything about their fragrances? Uh, yeah, fairly decent longevity. Kind of simplistic, but fairly high quality. It all depends on your taste, and I have different taste. I usually don't go for fragrances that are single notes. I like fragrances usually that are a little bit more complex, but It is nice to be able to layer a layer of fragrance, or maybe just wear a single note. If that's interesting you, if it's calling your name, you might want to get a sample. They're niche. They're a bit more expensive. I don't know about a blind buy purchase, but definitely check them out. AA says I own Rag and Bone Essence. They're pretty high quality, honestly. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty good overall, pretty high quality. But y'all know how much I'm a cheapskate, value for money. I try to get fragrances on the cheap, on the, big discounts. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever go for them, but definitely get some samples. Give them a go. Dean says, got a discovery atomizer of Musk Oud by Roja. Truly unbelievable, so smooth. His fragrances are truly on another level. I need to try that one. That Musk Oud, that one looks really, really good. I've really been wanting to try his higher end fragrances. They're very, very expensive. It's probably my only criticism. The only ones I've tried, sadly, are the ones that are kind of somewhat similar to other vintage fragrances. I've tried like his Fetish, his Danger, and his. I think there's one called like Scandal or Illicit or something like that. And I've tried those, and they are kind of vintage leaning, and they're not something that I love. I don't think they're overtly too creative, and I also feel like they could have a little bit more character to them, especially for the price. But supposedly his other, I guess, fragrances like that, the ouds, and he has some other creative ones. I really like the Great Britain. I think that Great Britain is unbelievably good. I would love it, but the price for it is outrageous. If it would be one thing if he was charging, I don't know, 500 for it, but that's one of those fragrances that's scary. Over $1,000 for a fragrance, and even if I had the money, I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money on a fragrance. Honestly, guys, I don't know about that. So let's see here. Get your hands on Molecule 01, 02, 03, and 04. I have not tried the new 04 and 05, but I have tried 1, 2, and 3, and I forget. No, I don't know. I don't think I've tried the 4 and the 5. I actually own the 03 eccentric molecule. I really, really enjoy the 03 eccentric. The regular molecule 03, the vetiver one, gets a bad reputation as being kind of flat and boring. But the eccentric version that actually has some more notes to it. And if y'all aren't familiar with the eccentric molecule line, they have like one side of their fragrances, and they have the same number, but they're regular molecule, and it's like the pure note. And then they have the other side that's like the eccentric molecule, and it's they actually have a few more notes to them. And I think the eccentrics usually are better than the pure notes. But yeah, I really like that 03 of eccentric. Jay Z says just picked up IDEO Prism Blues and loved it. What are your thoughts on it? Did you buy it off my recommendation? I actually really really like that fragrance. I talked pretty highly of it. I own it. I definitely love it. It's a great patchouli fragrance. It has a little bit of a very wearable, almost like leathery feeling oud in the fragrance. It's really has some interesting spiciness. It's a great charmer. It's wearable. I definitely can smell a little bit of some of the molecules that they're using in the fragrance, but it's not off-putting. It's not bad at all. I really like that Prism Blues, and I want to try more of the IDEO fragrances. I've tried Space Rhapsody from them, and Space Rhapsody was quite good as well. Space Rhapsody was, if you like powdery fragrances, if you like Telegram by Imaginary Authors, you'll probably like that one as well. Let's jump to Schism. He says, Scent of the Day is Among Waves by Gallagher Fragrances. I need to dive more into Gallagher. I tried the Fine Apple, and I don't know why, but there was a few other people who thought the same way, but it was pretty well received. A lot of people seem to really like Fine Apple, but it didn't work for me, and I don't know why. And I, I haven't really revisited the brand since then. But I should give them more of a try and more of a chance. They had I forget what it was called. It was like a, what was it? Was it called Wicked Good? They came out with it was like a gourmand kind of take on that fragrance from their line. It was a smaller size. I think it's like a 30 mil for the same price, which is a bit pricey, but it looks really good. I'll have to check them out. Any new fragrances on your radar? I have been bad. I am guilty as charged, my friends. Very guilty. Uh, because I have another order from Fragrance by CA, which I did pay for, and another order from FragranceNet on the way, which I bought. I tend to buy small orders. Uh, I reach that threshold to get free shipping, and then I buy some fragrances. I felt like I need some fresh fragrances, so actually today I had some money come in, and I decided to get some more fresh fragrances in my collection. I also want to showcase some more awesome fresh fragrances for you guys. There's all kinds of beautiful fresh fragrances, and I just don't highlight them as much often because I have a hard time finding those fresh, crisp, citrusy fragrances that I truly connect with. Because I usually, go for those dark fragrances. Y'all know the coffee tobaccos. Y'all know what I say, the ouds and all that stuff. So, sorry about the dog going crazy over there as well. But I do have some new fragrances on my radar, and you'll definitely be seeing some of those in the future. And of course, I have so many fragrances I want to buy. I really want Hobdon by Parfums de Marly. There's quite a few fragrances I really want. So DFW says Shade says it sounds good. Got distracted by a work call. Yeah, Rag and Bones line looks good. Like it's getting nice reviews. May need to read up on it a little bit more. Yeah, definitely get some samples and try the brand. I've I've dived into plenty of fragrance brands and tried plenty of fragrances, and I wasn't sure if I was going to love them. I wasn't sure if I was going to be crazy about them, but that's a whole part of the fragrance game. You might figure out that you actually love fragrances that just have one note. You might find that you think they're too simplistic. You might figure out that you think that they're a little bit boring. It all depends on you. So definitely give them a go, get some samples and a try. I probably wouldn't recommend just blind buying them all, but it's up to you, my friend. It's your life, it's your fragrance journey. Anyways, let's see. Jordy Robina's in the house. Hey, my friend, how you doing? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's a good evening. I grabbed some Panda. I'm guilty as charged. I don't eat there too often, but whenever I get the chance, I do. It's a guilty pleasure. I probably should just cook. It's a lot cheaper. I usually do cook for myself. I rarely eat out, but if I do, I usually go for like Popeyes or Panda. I try to avoid like McDonald's and those kinds of places. They usually just don't do too much for me. But so I mean the chicken nuggets and the Chick-fil-A sandwiches they're not bad by any means. The creative, let's see. I love the scents that are soft. So when I say soft, I usually mean fragrances that have a soft feeling, and sometimes that are softer on the projection. Do you like, some people, a lot of people just say that they want beast mode fragrances. They want fragrances that project forever, that are beast, and really you can just so powerful. And a lot of the times when you're closer to people, when you're in air conditioned environments, when you're at the office or work, when you're really, really close to people, it's actually a pretty good idea to have a average projecting or average performing fragrance. Unless you're going to a party, unless you're going to a big social event, you know, some of these young guys, I still think that I have the inclination that because I was one of those young guys, I'd find a fairly powerful fragrance. Something even like Dylan Blue can be too overpowering, and you put on over I don't know 7 sprays of that on, and it actually can make you more repulsive than attractive. But yeah, definitely I know that you'll be smelling good out there. When you said you grabbed panda, I thought you meant zoologist. Oh no, no, no! I'm sorry. Panda, as in Chinese food. Well, American Chinese food. I'm guilty. I like the honey walnut shrimp. I do guilty as charged. I do go for the orange a lot of the time, but the Beijing beef is nice. But I don't know. Sometimes the Beijing beef is a little dry, and the orange chicken's always done right. So sometimes you just want to go for the orange because it's always reliable. But I don't know. It's if I do eat out for breakfast, it's almost always Hardee's biscuits. Uh, but let's talk about fragrances, unless y'all want to chat about food. Do y'all like cooking? I do get into all kinds of spices. I maybe that's one of the reasons I got into fragrance because I've been very passionate about cooking as well, and I've always remembered that I love the smell and the taste of rosemary. And I don't know why, but rosemary is a very special note to me. And when I make my own fragrances, it'll definitely be a note that I try to highlight. So, uh, fragrances out there, my goodness, I think that there's a lot of beautiful smells out there, a lot of things to try, a lot of things to experience, and hopefully, y'all are cooking amazing foods in your kitchen. Cooking and perfumery are very similar. You're right. You got to learn, if you're making fragrances, the right amounts. You're gonna have to know how to work them, make them, the right balance, the right ingredients, and the smells. It's truly intoxicating, and a lot of I do think smell is important for your dish and for your food. Uh, Maybe one of these days I'll become more of a gourmet and I'll put more emphasis on the actual smell. But to some people, that's half of the cooking experience you know, is the smell. Got Halston Z14 in the mail. Amazing alternative to Italian Cypress. Smells just like it. Uh, yeah, were you telling me about that, or was it somebody else? I was really tempted to buy that one. I've been tempted a couple times. I'm not sure if I should or if I shouldn't, but by golly, it does look really good. And I do like that Tom Ford Italian Cypress. It's on my buy list. It's one of my most coveted fragrances out there. Really, really want it. It's something that is beautiful. If y'all aren't familiar with Italian Cypress, it's minty, it's patchouli like, and it has that green nature. It's very gentlemanly and classy. It definitely smells great, in my opinion. Tom Ford's Bois de Jour is an amazing rosemary. I'll definitely have to get my nose on that. Bois de Jour is getting a lot of talk and a lot of popularity. It seems to be sounds fantastic. But who knows? It could be a fragrance that I like even more than Eau Sauvage. We'll have to see. I'm looking forward to trying it. I just haven't had a chance. A lot of vintage fragrances are true masterpieces. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful fragrances in the past that were very well done. Uh, I think we've talked about this a time or two, but designer fragrances these days, they're focused on making the quick sale. They're focused on, just being appealing for the moment. They're not really focused on the artistry as much as they were back in the day, and they can kick out new fragrances really quickly with these algorithms and the computer programs that they use these days. So yeah, there's still great fragrances released today. There's still great designer fragrance releases, but back in the day, I could agree with that they used to put a little bit more effort into those fragrances. That they intentionally made them a little bit more special and a little bit more unique, and really cared about their craft just a little bit more. At least that's how I think about it. So, anyways, uh, are there any vintage fragrances that you really think are great that you would recommend? Y'all know that I always talk really, really highly about Platinum Egoist, Dior Fahrenheit. Uh, those fragrances to me are something special. Eau Sauvage, really, really nice. For me, I really like the Lalique Pour Homme. I think the Lalique is absolutely gorgeous. The one with the lion's head, and I also, especially for the money, it's outrageously good for the money. A really good classic. Also, I recently got Kenzo Jungle Pour Homme. Not the elephant. The elephant one is for the ladies. But it's a really good fragrance as well. It really, really works for me. I can't tell you why. I don't know why. But Kenzo Jungle, and I got the vintage bottle, works really, really well. Really, really gorgeous juice. If you if you like a mate tea feeling kind of fragrance, I really like cactus and mate kind of feeling fragrances. And you know, again, you never know why. Who knows? We all love certain smells and certain things that make us all tick a little bit differently. So, any are there any other fragrances y'all are looking for? Are looking forward to? Are there any fragrance requests that y'all are looking for? Any fragrances that on your buy list, wish list that y'all think I should review? I'm always trying to review new fragrances. I'm always trying to keep up to date with the new releases. Y'all know that I don't focus on them too much, but I do try to be aware and definitely try as much as I can. Any modern releases you think will stand the test of time and will be standouts 20 years out? Conversely, my fragrances that will live Conversely, any fragrances that will live in infamy? That's a really good question, DFW. Thank you for that. Um, Fragrances that will stand out for the next 20 years. They'll stand the test of time. I think one of them is Versace Pour Homme. We know that things like Aqua di Gio are definitely going to stand the test of time. That's all. It's already been proven. Dior Fahrenheit's been proven, and I think that Eau Sauvage has definitely proven itself. So has Platinum Egoist. One of the unsung heroes that many fragrance reviewers don't seem to talk about. It has a pretty big cult following, and actually is still sold in my local mall. Is Ralph Lauren's? No, it's not Ralph Lauren. It's Polo's. I think it is a Ralph Lauren. It's a fragrance called Safari. I'm getting them mixed up. Anyways, it's a great fragrance and it smells very very nice. More of a citrusy, dry, aromatic fragrance with a lot of leather, and it's a true classic. And it still sells very well. It's still on the shelves, still being bought, and there's a lot of demand still for that fragrance. So I think that's absolutely interesting and absolutely fantastic. Um, Another fragrance is I talked about Versace Pour Homme. I think it's going to stick around. I think that Versace Pour Homme is better than recent formulations of Acqua di Gio. It just still sells very well. It's still seen fairly highly. I believe it was Alberto Marias who made that fragrance. And anybody who has, again, Jeremy Fragrance's Office for Men, I'd really would love to see what those guys think about Versace Pour Homme because there are some similarities between the two. And for the money and for the quality, I think that the Versace Pour Homme is the winner. And Versace Pour Homme is a great fragrance. It's great. It stands up to Acqua di Gio. It really does. So it stands the test of time. What are some other great fragrances that are going to stand the test of time? I would have liked to say I would have liked to think that La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent will. It might still pull through. Hey there, Bravius. Happy to see you pop in. DFW asked a great question, and I'm still answering that. But La Nuit de l'Homme, it's so good, but it's been reformed to death. It's been weakened so much, and they kind of betrayed the people who bought the fragrance. Is it still a good fragrance? Yes. Is it worth the money? I don't know. Maybe if you didn't never smell the original, maybe if you don't know what the original really smells like, maybe it's not going to bother you. But for me, I've smelled the vintage. I know what the vintage is all about, and every time I smell it, it's like it brings sadness more than happiness. But it's still a good fragrance. Ladies still seem to like it. But y'all know that people are very trendy. People like to be up with the trend, stay up with the trends, and ladies like guys who smell really good, but perhaps a little bit different. So I think La Nuit de l'Homme almost is overplayed. Maybe if you live in a big city, a really big city, and the gal meets, and maybe she dates a lot of guys, and nothing's wrong with that. Guys can date a lot too. But anyways, what I'm saying is, you might smell like the X, La Nuit de l'Homme. It's pretty popular, so I don't know about that one anymore. But some other fragrances that might stand the test of time. Sauvage probably will, to my dismay. I'm not a big fan of Dior Sauvage. I think that regular Parfum is better than the EDT. I think that Blue de Chanel was better. I think that Dylan Blue is better. But everybody has their own opinion on that. But I don't know. Some fragrances that'll stand the test of time. I don't know. It's a really hard question. Club de Nuit Intense Man probably will. Club de Nuit Intense Man probably will stand the test of time. It's everybody's going to keep buying that one and enjoying and loving that fragrance for sure. It's a great smoky fragrance with that citrus top. So, anyways, any idea about Rums Al Rasasi Zabra? If you're asking about Rasasi Zebra, I don't know if that's the same fragrance, but if it is, I've heard that it's really good. I'm really tempted to blind buy it. I actually was thinking about it this morning. I was like, I need to buy that. I've heard pretty good things about it. I've heard it's a little bit sweet, but I definitely might get my nose on it. Y'all know how I feel about the Aventus craze. I'm not into the Aventus madness, but I do enjoy the smell. But I don't know. I look for things that have more star fruit, and I don't know. I like to smell a little bit more unique, but nothing's wrong with the Aventus smell. Nothing's wrong with that at all. Dean says, "Is there any non-traditional summer fragrances you like to wear in the heat? Any ouds?" Actually, again, a lot of people in the West don't know, but there's actually floral oud combinations and citrus oud combinations. It's just not that they're showcased and not perhaps not sold in the West as often as in Arabia. There's a fragrance called Oud Unlimited by the House of Amber Oud, and I actually highly recommend the fragrance. I think I've made a review of it in my privates, but I don't think I've. I forget if I think I released that video. I'll have to double check if I have, but anyways, it's a beautiful grapefruit. Might be the highest quality grapefruit I've ever smelled. It probably is the highest quality grapefruit I've ever smelled. But trust me, there's a fragrance called Oud Malaki by Chopard, and that fragrance could work in the heat as well. It's highly versatile, pretty inoffensive, and a great oud for the summer. Oud doesn't have to be dark. Oud doesn't have to be overtly animalic or scary. It can be pretty wearable. So if you like a Damascus rose, if you like real ambergris, um, and the Damascus rose is my favorite. It's a dry, spicy rose. Try out, that good old Oud Unlimited by the House of Amber Oud. Great fragrance, great people over there. It's kind of unknown. People just don't seem to not know about it, but it deserves a lot of talk. Another again, Oud Malaki is another one. That one you can scoop up. I got my bottle for about $40. It usually goes for about 60, but even at $60, it's worth it. It's got what if you like grapefruit, if you like the opening to Blue de Chanel and you like grapefruit, trust me, guys, Oud Malaki will knock your socks off. One of the highest. That one has beautiful grapefruit as well. So hopefully that helps you, Dean. Oud Malaki by Chopard or Oud Unlimited by the House of Amber Oud. Uh, Anyways, to the next question, Ultra Supra says, I loved Safari when it was new, and I still have a little splash bottle from the early 90s. I transferred it to a decant atomizer the other day, and it still didn't turn and smells great. Yeah, that Safari is amazing. That's a classic. And I don't know why, but there are certain fragrances that just aren't talked about too much in the fragrance community. I have a bottle of Zeno. I know that Zeno has been reformulated, but Zeno is to me again, if you're looking for I don't know dark, like a black leather kind of smelling fragrance, kind of inky, um, it's just great. It's Zeno to me is one of the best classic men's fragrances out there by Davidoff. Davidoff's Zeno, amazing stuff. They say it's similar to a Ventus, but I still want to hear it from you. Let me get back to your comment. Bravo. Oh, Rasasi. Oh, Zebra. I'll have to get my nose on it. I'll have to review it for you. I'd love to review that one and get my nose on it for you. Uh, I hear you. Again, I do every 6 months or so. I don't get the biggest views. I'm not making out like a criminal because of being monetized or anything. So if y'all ever really do or demand a certain fragrance review, it would help me financially if y'all request a video, to donate. That would certainly would help. For me to be able to just review something y'all purely want me to review. So they say it's similar to a Ventus. Okay. Thomas Martin, hey my friend, how you doing? Happy to see you pop in. Ultra Super says Sauvage will survive many years, mainly because it's extremely fresh scent and it's mass appealing for a long time. Yep, it lasts a really long time and people really seem to love it. I don't dislike it because it's mass appealing. I don't dislike it because it's popular. I just, for some reason, the smell doesn't work for me. It does come off as spicy. Some people, but it doesn't really come off as too spicy for me. It doesn't come off as too metallic, like some people say. I do. The shampoo vibe does bother me, but perhaps I could handle it. But to me, it's the ambergris dry down. It smells a little bit body odorish, and I really don't like the that smell out of Dior Sauvage. So the I the EDT at least. The EDP to me is much better, and I don't remember if I've tried the Parfum. I don't know if this is coming up on camera, but I just want to show y'all how humid this environment is, and how I'm sweating right now, and it's so humid that the water actually isn't even evaporating off my arm. I don't know if y'all can see that very well. I'm trying to catch it on camera. Can y'all see that? I just want to joke with y'all because I think the world's fascinating. It's a beautiful world, but guys, just look at that. It's it's so humid out here. My sweat isn't even evaporating off my skin. It's hot. It's a hot one today. Today was a scorcher. Anyways, although Savage, yep, I really do enjoy the Aventus DNA, but it's indeed most overrated and overhyped. Yeah, there's something about with me that I just want to smell a little bit more unique. I've always been that way. I like to have my own style, my own personality with just about anything, and it's not that some things, with Savage. I genuinely don't like the EDT, but I've always been a little bit rebellious with my music, with just about anything. I like to find things that are unexplored, unknown, unheard of, and it's something fun and adventurous for me, and it gives me a little bit. Maybe it's a pride thing, maybe it's an ego thing, but I like to think that I'm a little bit different, and that to me, fragrances, that's one thing that's so beautiful about fragrance. There's so many fragrances out there. You can smell unique and smell different, and you can express your personality in so many different ways, and I think that's a beautiful thing with fragrance. So that's, again, not y'all, it's great to have mass appealing fragrances, nothing against them, but I always encourage y'all to find fragrances you truly connect with, that express your style, your personality, that express who you are. And as you do that, I think you'll have a lot more fun with fragrances. Again, nothing is wrong with wearing mass appealing fragrances. Nothing is wrong with enjoying those scents. But I do think that you need to wear fragrances for yourself. I think a lot of young men out there, especially, are wearing fragrances just to be attractive to ladies. And I don't think that they are really intentionally trying to enjoy the fragrance for themselves. And I certainly hope that y'all out there get your nose on those scents and you know enjoy those fragrances. So let's see. Anyways, yeah, but Sauvage has been around for only 5 years. Yes, it'll definitely. I think it'll stand the test of time. By the way, guys, I just noticed that I on the grinder that I got this razor sharp. I just tested it on the hair of my leg, so I thought that was really crazy. So I'm being crazy out here, guys. I'm just having fun. Let's see. Yeah, but Savage has around. You're having a perfect day for something real beast mode there, Ben. Wearing 10 sprays of parfum. No, I choke people out. If I did that around here with this kind of weather, my golly goodness, it knocked people out. It's I forgot how hot think it was 95, and it was said because of the humidity. I think it said it felt like 105 today. So today was a real scorcher, and I did a bunch of yard work, and probably really one of the reasons I've lost a little bit of weight. Anyways, guys, any more questions and suggestions? I'm losing people, but hey, this is me. I love fragrances. I chat about fragrances, but I do try to be a little bit personal. When you see a fragrance review, you just get to see a quick snippet of me focusing on the fragrance. When you jump on a live like this, you get to see a little bit more of who I am with my personality, and hopefully you'll like to connect with me and you like what you see. Ultra Super says, "Lol." Yes, I am random. I can be random, and I am a type. It doesn't come through very much. I have dry, witty humor, but I actually do really care about being witty, and being funny is something that I'm really is something important to me. So, I guess I'm the big jolly hooligan. Maybe I'm Santa Claus. Who knows? Anyways, shout out from Houston, Ben. Oh, I know you got it hot over there, Joey Martinez. I know you got it scorching you over there. You feel my pain over there. What was the temperature for you over there? Over there in Houston? I don't know. Maybe one day I'll move to Texas. Maybe Texar. How do you say it? Texarkana. Anyways, I'll have to try it. You must be wearing lots of swimming in La Paris. Y'all know that that's one of my favorite summer fragrances. I do love that one. It smells like the ocean breeze. It's pretty long lasting. It's actually fairly potent, and it's the best performing Dolce Gabbana light blue in my opinion. And I really think that that's the best one. Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense is a great one. It is a really, really nice one, but I don't think that you should overlook the swimming in La Paris. If you like that salty vibe, if you want to smell like the ocean and salt, and you like that big punch of ambroxan, and you like that, definitely check out Swimming in La Paris. It was one of those flankers from Dolce Gabbana Light Blue. This it's probably not being made anymore, and when the supply dries up, it'll dry up. So check it out. I don't. I'm probably helping it dry up a little faster, but check it out. Valley Vaughn says, "Hey friend, hey Valley Vaughn, happy to see you pop in. How's it going, Valley Vaughn? How's happy to see you? What kind of fragrances have you been getting into? Have you gotten yourself into any trouble buying more fragrances? How's your fragrance channel and everything been going for you? Happy to see you pop in, and always happy to see fellow fragrance reviewers and fellow fragrance lovers pop in. And if y'all probably know, but Valley Vaughn's a fellow fragrance reviewer, lovely lady, and she's definitely put some spice into the fragrance community. And really love your work over there, Valley Vaughn. Where are you located? I'm in the southern USA. I don't try to throw my address out there in the public. Y'all know the internet can be a crazy world. Just know that I am close to the Gulf of Mexico, and hurricanes are a big danger. And I did experience Katrina, so that's a little bit more of me if you want to know. What citrus fragrances did you order? I don't want to spoil everything, but one is an Aqua de Parma, which I'm keeping secret. But one is Lemon Verde from, Guerlain. It's the only Guerlain I think I have in my collection. I think it's the only one, and definitely check it out, guys. It's marketed towards the ladies. It's a little bit grassy. That green lime lemon kind of smell is absolutely gorgeous in it. It's very refreshing. Not the longest lasting scent, but I had to get it, and I got it from FragranceNet. I think it was, if I remember right. I just looked at it like a couple hours ago. It was like $45 odd, and it's a 4.2 ounce. It's a big bottle, so I'll be getting a lot of use out of that one. And if y'all don't know, Lime in the Sky is also pretty darn good from Sensual Obsessions. That's a pretty good citrus fragrance. 100 degrees. You mean intense or regular light blue? Uh, I was talking about the intense. The regular light blue, nothing's wrong with it either. But it's a little bit subtle. It's a little bit more closer to the skin. You probably will smell really good, but you might not get noticed that much. The intense is great as well. I was watching a Jitsense video, and that one was did really, really well. And it's gotten some hype from other fragrance reviewers as well for a good reason. I just like the Swimming Lipari personally. I like how it's much more salty, and I like that it feels a little bit more airy because it's that has so much ambroxan. It's like an overload. If you don't like ambroxan in your fragrance, definitely do not go for Swimming Lipari. A cool shirt I bought Byredo La Tulip. Not good performance. Yeah, Byredos. I mean, they're just okay. They never gave me great performance. Gallivants were just okay for me, and I didn't connect with a lot of those fragrances. But do you enjoy the smell? Do you still think it's worth it? Can you please share your social security number? And I'll throw my name and my address and my birth date and my favorite color and the name of my dog too. How's it going, Ben? Professor X, happy to see you pop in. A fellow fragrance reviewer. I also like that he is not afraid to be critical of fragrances. I think that, a lot of people who are in this fragrance game, they see that there is potential to, not only get free fragrances, but they also see the potential that, you can ostracize or offend people. Like I've talked about how I don't like Dior Sauvage, but y'all know, and I've always said it, wear what you love. if you love that fragrance, if you connect with it, even if it's, I don't know, SpongeBob or Star Wars fragrance or whatever it is. I mean, what the heck? I mean, if it makes you happy, wear it. But some people might not like that. A lot of fragrance reviewers these days are not being so critical on fragrances because they might like everything. Who am I to know? Maybe they enjoy lots of fragrances or almost every fragrance that comes across their path. Maybe they genuinely like it, but a lot of fragrance reviewers are not trying to really attempting to be critics of fragrances. And I like that the Professor X is willing, if he feels passionate about it, if he feels in the mood, he'll definitely tell you his thoughts and criticize a fragrance. And I think that we need more of that in the fragrance community because, some fragrances, even though people might end up connecting to them, are getting emotional. Some fragrances might not be the best creations, and some fragrances like La Nuit de l'Homme has been reformed to death. And I hope that people do make that clear. I'm not going to give Yves Saint Laurent my money for La Nuit de l'Homme and keep buying bottles of that fragrance if they're going to reformulate it to death and treat people in that way. So I certainly that's just my opinion, but yes, light blue scents insanely close to the skin. Yeah, the regular light blue is more of just something that you almost like want to cover up your sweat. I suggest it more for a very inoffensive, safe office fragrance. A fragrance that's great for airplane, great for airplanes. It's great for when you're going to be just really, really close to people, and you want to be super safe. But I often suggest Dolce Gabbana the regular light blue, if you do own it, to wear it, as a not an office, a gym fragrance. Wearing it to the gym, you can kind of cover up your sweat, make you naturally smell kind of better. And I don't not really into going to the gym to be social. I'm not really all about smelling good. The whole point of kind of going to the gym kind of is to get sweaty and maybe smell bad. So, but some people really do care about smelling good when they go to the gym. For a lot of people these days, going to the gym is a very social thing, and a lot of people do meet each other and kind of date wise at the gym. So, the new YSL Y O Fresh is a great hot weather scent. I need to try that one. That one in the kind of whitish looking bottle looks really, really good, and I've heard that it's actually very different from the rest of the YSL Y line, and I'm happy to hear that because. But I'm sorry, my screen just froze there for a second. I'm back to normal. But I was going to say that I'm happy that the YSL YO Fresh sounds like it's actually very different from the other fragrances from the line because YSL Y didn't work for me personally. I know a lot of people love it out there. A lot of people are hyping it. A lot of people are talking really good about it. And more kudos to them if that's what they like and that's what they love. Wear it, enjoy it. But the YSL Y, that core DNA and those fragrances absolutely don't work for me. A little haha, I was joking, Ben. Oh, well, I don't think it performs that great, the regular light blue. But I couldn't tell that you were joking. But uh, anyways, yes, Billy Vaughn. Joe Martinez says, "Hey Tom Ford, man. Hey Tom Ford for men. Ever smelled that love? The opening fades quickly. Yes, the Tom Ford Pour Homme definitely does not get a lot of spotlight. I've talked about that fragrance and tried to mention it a couple times. It's one of the best designer ginger fragrances on the market for sure. It's a great masculine fragrance and smells really, really nice. If you can pick it up for a solid price, a good discount, it doesn't last the longest. It's more of a 6 hour fragrance. It's still a solid release, and I don't know why it just didn't get a lot of talk. So let's see here. Yes, I like that you're telling the truth. I'm definitely straight to the point. That's what I do, Valley Vaughn. Ultra Supra says that there's nothing more subjective than taste and fragrances. That's probably true. There's a lot of opinions and a lot of feelings, and we might all smell differently, have different memories, we all have a different dictionary, just like with how we speak. We understand different vocabulary. All of us have different reference points. What I think rosemary smells like, you might not know what rosemary smells like at all. Somebody out there might think that, lime smells differently because the only lime they've smelled is Sprite. So when they think of lime, they think of Sprite. and we all have those different fragrance connections to things we've smelled and those experiences. So we all have a different, I don't know, almost like a different fragrance vocabulary or memory, repertoire, whatever you want to say. It's all a little bit different, and that's honestly a very fascinating thing in regards to fragrance. I think it's very very interesting. Um, Anyways, I appreciate that props, Mr. Ben. Yes, Professor X, definitely support you 100%. Again, I'm not trying to rag on other fragrance reviewers. There's a bunch of other great fragrance reviewers out there. But it is funny to see how some of them have done so well so quickly. I was looking at another fragrance reviewer, and this person only had about 60 videos, and I think that they've reached over 10,000 subs, and I have over 300. I passed 360. I know that I have well over 300 videos, and maybe my quality's not as good. Maybe I'm not as likable. I don't know what the story is, but it's quite interesting that some YouTube has certain favorites, and I upload just about every day. I hope that y'all come back every day. I upload videos just about every day, very very consistently, and I do a lot of hard. I put a lot of work and a lot of soul, a lot of passion into this. But like Professor X, I mean, he's one of those. I don't know. And again, with some of these people out there, like again, Joey Canoli talks about it. He doesn't use tags. He's admitted to it. Some of these people out there who are fragrance reviewers, I don't know if they're using tags, which certainly is a big part of the fragrance game. But who knows? Who knows? But we can all support each other, I guess, right? It's a crazy world. One shouldn't hate others for hating their favorite fragrances. Yeah, it's true, but some people do get really passionate. Some people do get really emotional about fragrances. You can. It's still true, but a lot of people used to joke used to joke all the time that if you just wanted to have some entertainment, just get on a fragrance group, a fragrance Facebook group, and just say Club de Nuit is better than Aventus, or Aventus is better than Club de Nuit Intense Man, and you could just see people pop in, start fighting each other, and it's true. People do get so passionate about these things. It's really it's sometimes crazy. But Dean says Bright Neroli is a great for the gym. Oh, that would be really great for the gym as well. Bright Neroli, a little bit more on the average side of projection. Very inoffensive, very safe, very easy to wear. Certainly works wonders. So I've come to the point of my fragrance journey that I don't really need others' validation for what I wear. I think that's a great thing. I think that compliments are good. I think that compliments are fine, and I've kind of talked about this quite a few times. But you should really enjoy the fragrance for yourself. You should really love that fragrance that you're wearing, because what really matters is that you enjoy that scent. Other people out there in the world, it doesn't really matter if they love that fragrance on you as much. It's nice to get compliments. It's nice to be attractive. It's all cherry on the top, but I mean, ultimately, do you live your life for other people? Do you buy a car because other people like the car? Do you eat food because other people like that food? Do you live in a house or somewhere because other people want you to live there, or talk a certain way because other people want you to talk that way? I certainly am not too much of a conformist in that way, I guess you could say, but I hope that y'all enjoy fragrances for yourself. There's a lot of beautiful fragrances out there to enjoy. And, find those fragrances that you truly connect with. I think that's really important that y'all do that. And I hope that I am an influence for that. And again, I don't want to I seem to talk about these things every time, but again, when Jeremy made his fragrance video, completely attacking or going against my motto, wear what you love, I think that he sees that potential, that I am being an influence in the fragrance community and in the fragrance world. I certainly hope that I am. I hope that more fragrance reviewers and more people in the fragrance community begin to kind of maybe move move a little bit away from compliment fragrances and most complimented fragrances and mass appealing fragrances. Again, nothing's wrong with those fragrances. They have their place, they have their purpose, and they can do wonderful things, and they can be a joy to wear. And if you wear them, kudos to you, respect to you. But as a whole, once you truly find fragrances that you really like, and you might truly connect with a mass appealing fragrance. You might connect to Sauvage EDT, which I don't like, but um, you know, just find that fragrance and love that fragrance and enjoy life, and that's what it's about. And I hope more people in the fragrance community will do and promote that message and really kind of move in that direction, because I feel like we need more of that in the fragrance community. We um, need to support each other in our fragrance choices, and will be willing to share new unexplored fragrances. I know that the YouTube algorithm doesn't like you talking about things that are unknown and unexplored, and people have never heard of these things. But y'all have seen on my channel, I'll review anything, just about everything, even if I only get 50 views in the for that video, only if I don't get any views pretty much. But I'm passionate about showcasing these fragrances and getting the word out, because everybody needs to find a fragrance that they love. And there's a lot of passion out there that I have, and I know that some other fragrance reviewers do it too. I'm not trying to say that I'm the only one, but I really enjoy when other fragrance reviewers showcase new, unexplored, unheard of fragrances, and that's what I try to promote. To me, it's exciting when you click on somebody's video and you see a new fragrance that you haven't heard of, a new style, a new perfumer, came from a new place in the world, and you don't know anything about that scent. For me, it's very boring and annoying if I just see somebody releasing a most complimented fragrance list where it's the same old fragrances, and maybe they throw in one or two things. But if it's not fragrances that they truly like, if they're just making it for other people, I mean, I've kind of done that a time or two, but it's not something that I think is a great thing to do. So, anyways, I don't know if it's pure coincidence, but I happen to love Office for Men from Jeremy. In fact, it surprises me because I'm thinking nothing. I was thinking nothing of it until I tried it. Yeah, if you love it, I mean, it's a good fragrance. That's what it's all about, you know. And you might like the most uninteresting fragrance to other people, but hey, it works for you, and that's what it's all about. But and again, who knows? And I'm not trying to say that everybody needs to move towards strange fragrances or unusual or animalics or ouds or anything like that. I'm just saying that when I see some people's collections and I look at some people's fragrances collections that they post online, it's all rather like, they're not diving into like weird flankers of designers. They're not finding like odds and ends and scent. You can tell that I mean, they haven't gone to Lucky Scent or anywhere and sampled hundreds of fragrances. They just have, a bunch of core collection kind of fragrances that you can easily find at your mall, and nothing's wrong with that. But I think that it's a great thing to explore and to find the new stuff, the new juice, that stuff that really that you really connect with. So I actually love the fragrance more than Jeremy himself. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, that you love the Office for Men more than you like Jeremy. So I know some people, and I'm not trying to beat up on Jeremy again, but I guess this could be taken that way. But I'll never forget how I thought it was really strange. I thought it was really, really strange that I saw some people, and somebody actually told this to me, and they told me that I should buy Office for Men because I needed to support Jeremy, like I owed him something. And I realized that he did build up a lot of the fragrance community. He got an awful lot of people into fragrances. He did not get me into fragrances. I want y'all to be very clear. I didn't stumble upon Jeremy Fragrance and start a fragrance channel and enjoy fragrance because of Jeremy. Nothing of the sort. And I don't know. I don't like when people tell me that I owe people anything, that I'm obligated to them, especially when I certainly do not agree. Anyways, I'm not trying to beat up on Jeremy. He's got his passion. He's living his own life, and hopefully he's enjoying life and having fun with it. It looks like he is. I hope that he is enjoying life. I bet he is. A lot of people would say that he definitely has everything in the world, but more power to him, and more respect to him. He's certainly made his life very successful. And again, I'm not beating up on the guy. I admire him for he has great work ethic. He works very hard. He puts out a lot of content. He's pretty passionate. I might not agree with some of the opinions he has, but kudos to him. Kudos. It's pretty funny because he himself is very polarizing, and his fragrances are designed to be mass appealing. Yeah, it's it is kind of funny that way, but if you have a big personality, if you have a big if you put yourself out there, you're always going to have people who dislike you, and you tend to I don't know, if you're the more you put yourself out there, and the bigger personality you have, it seems that there's always you're always going to have people that dislike you, but you're going to have even more people that dislike you. People are going to dislike Jeremy just because he's popular, or just because he's big, or they're jealous of him or something like that. It's a funny world, but let's stop talking about Jeremy. Every time we get on here, we always seem to talk about Aventus or Jeremy. But anyways, he's a good guy overall. But I don't watch his content or anything like that. So let's see here. Any more thoughts? Have y'all been getting into any new fragrances? Have y'all been getting into anything new? Anything fun? Ultra Supra is laughing. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully you're looking forward to some summer fragrances. I decided to get some of those. It'll be a lot of fun to showcase some more summer scents, because I don't showcase them. But again, hopefully y'all know my Instagram. I am Centaur Fragrance there as well, and I have a great Instagram, and hopefully y'all will enjoy seeing more of my content there. I'm very active there, and I post very regularly, 3 times a day just about. So anyways, guys, I felt like the chat's kind of died down, the chat's kind of dried up. Do y'all have any questions or any thoughts? And again, there are a lot of lurkers here. I wonder who the lurkers are, and it's always funny when you're live. You can't see who these people are. I wonder who they are. I wonder what they're doing, and I wonder what they think of me. But if you ever are a lurker and you want to be a friend, feel free to always pop in, say hello. I'm not too scary. At least I don't think I am. I know that I'm out here working, a southern boy with a hatchet and and fat wood, but I'm not. I shouldn't scare you too much. Lurkers. That's what we call. That's what I call them. The people who don't say hello. The people who are not in the comment section. The people who are not saying hello. The people who you don't know who they are and what they're doing. Little hatchet. So some people, they're city people and they don't live outside. I'm outside here all the time. I've spent hours trying to get that big fat wood, that like trunk of a tree essentially out of the ground, and I work out here all the time, keeping this place looking beautiful. And I got a Bowie knife here, which I've been sharpening. It's like, as you can see this like an old butcher shop in a movie or horror movie. I've been sharpening this. That's why it looks so crazy. And this is cold steel, and it had a terrible edge on it, and I'm trying to sharpen it and put a really good edge on it. So that's been a lot of work. It's a work in progress, that's for sure. Yo, what's good, brother? Hey, Nathaniel Alexander, how you doing, my friend? Yep. How's the fragrance life going for you? Happy to see you pop in. I'm thinking about ending this live fairly soon, but how you been doing? How's the fragrance life? Got any questions, any thoughts? And how was your week? Hope that it was wonderful. A great name for a frag. Reminds me of a Woody scent. That hatchet dough. Yeah, it's an old Estwing. It's actually a restoration. It's my dad's favorite hatchet, and I put it together. It looks pretty raggedy, but I peened. If you don't know what peening is, if you're not a tradesman or outdoorsman, I peened the end of it, and I'm sharpening it. I cleaned off all the rust. This is a new finish. This has been spray painted. I probably am gonna probably have to, I don't know, spray it up again. I've nicked it so much, but yep, stacked leather handle, beautiful thing. Found a summer frag I love recently. Aramis, always for men, does not perform the best, but I love it. Hey, sometimes that fragrance, sometimes the fragrance doesn't have to have the best performance. You know, again, you can reapply throughout the day, or you can just enjoy that fragrance for how good it is, and it can be super refreshing. Again, I just bought Lemon Verde. Lemon Verde is on the way for me, and that fragrance does not perform at all, but I like the smell of it, and it's a beautiful scent. And if you like it, and if it works for you, wear it. You know, I've been critical of some things like Virgin Island Water by Creed, and that's mostly because of the price. But even Virgin Island Water by Creed is a good scent. It's enjoyable and it's likable. But you know, it would be nice if a niche fragrance that cost retail wise over $300, it would be nice that it actually lasted. That knife, Crocodile Dundee. Exactly, it's a Bowie, and or some people say Bowie. And I'm an outdoorsman. I work hard. I swing steel, and I actually, whenever I work, I actually I helped clear a trail with somebody on a camping trip, and I was swinging my machete so hard that I was making the steel vibrate, and I call it making the steel sing, and it's kind of a thing I take in pride. If you can swing a tool hard enough when you hit something to make it, you know, to hear that clang, that, well, it's not even going to do it here, it's too thick, but to hear that vibration, that it has a certain ting to it, like I can't do it. I'm trying to flick the edge of the knife, but it has a certain ting to it. You know you're swinging it good. Lemon Verde, I recently ordered a sample of that one. Yes, Ron. I hope that you enjoy it. It doesn't last the longest, but it smells a little bit grassy, and it's a beautiful, beautiful lime, like lemon lime type of smelling fragrance. It's great, and it is that line is marketed supposedly to women, or some companies market it just for women. That's probably the most unisex one out of the line, in my opinion, because it's a little bit green and a little bit grassy, and it's gorgeous. I think you'll really enjoy it. Again, it doesn't last the longest, but hey, Virgin Island water, if I can speak right, is nice, but yeah, performance is not so much. Want to get my hand on gorse. Yeah, I've heard really good things about that gorse. It's supposed to have that really interesting flower in it, so you're definitely living the southern life, Ben. I know that I am. I like my crawfish and uh, fried catfish and all that. Um, yeah, but I'm a little bit different. I like to joke around. I don't like football culture. I'm definitely I'm not too religious and all that kind of stuff. Even though I do some of the things similarly. I guess I'm not full country. I'm not full redneck. So, um, anyways, I love lime scent, so that one sounds good. Yeah, Lemon Verde by Guerlain from the Allegoria line. It doesn't last the longest, but it's one of the best lemon smelling fragrances I've ever smelled. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really nice. Any other? Let's see. I'm the typical girl, I guess. I like gourmand scents, but can stretch the scents like Saffron Troubadour. Well, you have great taste. You're already into like Artisan Parfumeur, and that fragrance smells great. So yeah, I like gourmand scents as well. I like sweet scents. A lot of the ladies I like, I mean, not like, a lot of the ladies I meet tend to, if they don't wear fragrances very much at all, but if they do wear fragrances, it tends to be things that are very, very light and like fruity florals. So I don't know. Maybe you're not the typical girl. I don't know of too many girls in my personal life that are crazy about the gourmands, but I do know that a lot of ladies do tend to like the chocolate fragrances once they actually get their noses on that chocolate. They love to eat the chocolate and they love to smell the chocolate. And then I like the smell of chocolate too, but definitely one of the reasons that I like my fragrances like Mugler's pure Tonka. So, any other recommended lime frags? Lime in the Sky by Central Obsessions is quite nice. I'm trying to remember some other ones. There's not a lot of lime fragrances in my experience that I've come across. Virgin Island Water has a lime opening. Um, you can go to Fragrantica and you can go to Notes and search lime fragrances. I'm trying to remember. Are there any other lime fragrances that I really remember having lime? I don't remember off the top of my head, but you can go on Fragrantica and possibly find something. I was looking at a few kind of niche fragrances, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to blind buy them. There's one called Thesis, and there's one called like something Piper. It's from that same house. It's like Fizzolari. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It's Italian. Anyways, look up Thesis on Fragrantica. I think it has some lime or some mint kind of vibe to it. Fragrance Journey says, hope you're good, brother. Happy to see you. Hope that you had a good weekend too, my friend. Hope that you had a great weekend. Have you got yourself in any new trouble? Any new fragrances? I remember you saying that you were going to sell some of your fragrances, but I do the same thing, and then I turn around and I buy some more. So, what can I say? I'm guilty as charged. DFW Shade says, followed up on my broken frag bottles on Macy's, going to the Better Business Bureau week. Macy's contacted me with a refund. So if anyone else can't get a hold of, followed up. Well, I hope that you get your refund. That's terrible that your fragrance broke in shipping, and hopefully you get that refund and get that fragrance that you're looking for. Which fragrance was it? And it's a shame that they didn't package it right. You know, they broke a good fragrance. That's a shame. It's a shame. Anyways, Fragrance Journey, how you been doing? Chocla, how do you say that? Chaka Hildick says, I will say that I love Tehota. I need to try that one. I don't think I've tried Tehota. That sounds Hawaiian or something. Polynesian. Fragrance Journey 01 says, testing these Agato fragrances. How are they? Have you shared those on your channel yet? I need to catch up. A bunch of y'all are doing some good work. I need to catch up. And I love that you explore some of those unknown, underappreciated houses. You do some good work over there, Fragrance Journey. DFW Shade says, Macy's customer service, try filing a complaint through the BB website. So they don't have a way for you to get a refund or work with them through the Macy's actual website? That sounds terrible. The bottles broke. Ooh. Yeah, it's a shame. Tehota is a vanilla and musk beast. It sounds really good. I gotta try that one. It's probably a lot more natural, but there is one called like Vanilla Absolute from the House of Montal, and you might want to try that one out. It's really nice as well. DFW Shade says, it's a wood sage and lime basil from Joe Malone. Happy endings since the BBC hooked me up with the Macy's refund. I'm happy that you got your refund. That's a pretty good scent. That's probably the best one from the House of Joe Malone. Again, I'm not crazy about Joe Malone, but if you ever were to go for one fragrance, that's probably the one. Any experience with the Demeter line? Some of their scents sound interesting, but people say they last about like Atelier fragrances. I haven't spent my money. Maybe if I become a big enough YouTuber and I have some money to throw around, maybe I'll buy a bunch of Demeter fragrances for the heck of it. But no, I've been tempted to buy the pineapple one. Some people back in the day were layering that with Club de Nuit Intense Man and other smoky, kind of making their own batches of Aventus. So that would be fun to try. But I don't have high expectations for that brand, honestly. It might be fun to try, but I wouldn't have high expectations for them. Correct, Chocoholic. That's how I would like to say your name. It's probably wrong, but it broke in the mail. A bright side in the office, front of the office, still smells fantastic. Well, hey, you got a really nice air freshener, didn't you? DFW Shade says, at least your office smells good. Yep, that's what I was thinking. I have been trying perfume oils recently. Which perfume oils did you get yourself into? Which perfume oils have you been liking? I love perfume oils. I like getting into them. Y'all know that I really enjoyed the ones from Posey. I showcased another fragrance oil I got from Amuse, and that one was quite good. It's was a lot better than the Superior Egyptian Musk, in my opinion. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the spices and how it was blended, but the Superior Egyptian Musk, I wasn't crazy about it. But the other one they sent me, I showcased it on my Instagram already. Head over there, wink, wink. But yeah, it surprised me. It's pretty good. See here, a name like Chocolate Addict and Chocoholic. Oh, Chocoholic, but there's CDC. What is the CDC part of it? Chocoholic. I mean, I got that, but then I was messing up the holic part because of the CDC. Anyways, we all do like the chocolate over here. Where's Carly? Where's Carly Warley when you need her? Anyways, District of Columbia? Why are you asking that? I'm not from the District of Columbia. Let's see. DC is... Oh, that's what he was asking. DC. Yeah. It's the capital of the USC. It's your hometown. Oh, DC. How'd you like it over there? Was it a good place to live? Was it enjoyable? Was it lovable? Or was it crazy? Let me know. I don't remember if I've ever visited there. Honestly, I don't think I have. Oh, anyways, I think the chat's slowing down. Any more questions? What's for dinner? I had some Panda Express, not the Panda fragrance from Zoologist, and I've been taking it pretty easy. Maybe I'll find something else to snack on. I think I got some good cherries in there, and no, that's not an innuendo. I do have I actually do like cherries, so that might be the snack I have for the evening. But I don't know. It was interesting growing up there. I bet it was. I bet you got lots of stories to tell, my friend. Very cosmopolitan, plus a mix of Southern style. Sounds interesting. I want to see. I want to live the city, like in a city, and know what it's all about. I want to experience it and actually live there. And I've never actually lived in a big city, but I have a feeling that I like my freedom. I like to work outside. I like to be outside. I like to have arts and crafts. It drives me crazy when people say they're bored outside in the country. You're bored outside when you can do anything and everything you want. You can pick up a hobby. You can jump on a four-wheeler. You can go skiing in the water. You can do almost anything you want. But I guess if you want to go to a play or a musical or a concert, there's none of that like easy kind of entertainment where you don't have to actually do anything, but you have the freedom to do almost anything out here. If you want to grow a garden, you can grow a garden. You could raise anything. You could raise rabbits. You could do all kinds of things, but I guess that takes work and effort, and I guess maybe that's what people don't want to do. I don't know. But it drives me crazy, when people say that there's nothing to do out here. I don't even go to the movies. But, people around here, they say that there's nothing to do except to go to the movies. And I've met people and they watch like every single popular movie that comes out. And I don't even go to the theaters, guys. Really, I'm that kind of country guy. Not for me. But every time you say panda, I keep resembling the scene of Tropic Thunder. From Classic. I'll have to check that movie out. I've heard it's. I was told when I was raised Christian and all that it was a very bad movie, but I don't know. Is it a good movie? Maybe I'll have to check it out. Tropic Thunder with the panda. Panda. Anyways. I think the chat's drying up, guys. I think y'all have had enough of me, and I bet it's getting late for y'all. I hope that y'all are doing really well. If you're a night animal, I hope that you have fun out there. I hope that you be responsible though. Don't drink and drive. Eat some wonderful food and take it easy. I'm just going to be taking it easy. I'll probably find a movie to watch. Take it easy. I definitely need to cool down. I'm still sweating out here, if y'all can see that. It's still hot enough to make me sweat. And sorry, I took a shower, but maybe I'm still kind of dirty. It does. If you're a working man, your hands still look dirty if you're doing lots of work. So, anyways, everybody, have a good weekend. Be safe, be well, smell great. I know that y'all are smelling great. And I will have some more citrus fragrances coming for y'all and all kinds of other beautiful content. I showcased a lot of haul videos in the past. I still have those fragrances. I still have over 100 videos uploaded in private that aren't released yet. And I release a video every day. So please always come back to my channel. Please hit all notifications. And I hope that y'all enjoy my content, my friends. And thank y'all for the friendship. It's always nice to get to know y'all a little bit better. To have this kind of this camaraderie about fragrances. And y'all are my fragrance peeps. Y'all my fragrance people. Thank y'all for being that. Thank y'all for being here for me. And I'll see everybody. Have a good weekend. I'll be here tomorrow night as well, 6 p.m. Central Time. And if y'all can hear that, that's the song of the cicadas. If you haven't heard cicadas before, they sing in the morning and they sing at night. So, guys, I'll see everybody. Have a good one. Again, just be well, be safe. I'm wishing you the very best. And I'll see you next time, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll put out a video tomorrow, too. So, bye, everybody. Have a good one. Be safe and be well.